Is that a language?
That's it.
Hungarian.
Hungarian.
Geez.
I think we'll go with that. Yes. Yeah, I believe.
They don't have their own language. All right.
Yeah, I don't think that's considered a language.
In your face, Denny.
They speak a form of French.
If it's a form of French, so that means its own language. That's fine. It's cool.
Yeah.
Bird can have it.
Now you're just showing off.
Bird can have it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what does the. I'm drawing a blank.
Take it if you want it.
What is
Denny.
it, Suits?
Isn't it Creole they speak in Haiti?
I thought so. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so we all agree Denny is wrong.
I'm glad we.
Yeah.
Glad we got
We
that.
definitely got him wrong.
It's time to wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast, so don't get her pissed. It's Jason, talks like a spaz, and he loves to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ show.
Well, hello, welcome to the KVJ show. Happy Tuesday. Good to see we got everybody in here today.
Happy Tuesday.
Virginia is with us. If you missed yesterday, Virginia was not here. Magnolia had an episode in the ocean. Now, tell me exactly what went down. What was this all about?
So it's 4 p.m. on Sunday. We all go to the beach. It's me, Mags, Rocco, and two of her little girlfriends.
Okay.
And the surf was rough, but they weren't going in any further than they could stand up. All the
Okay.
girls could stand up, and the waves were hitting them, and it was a little harsh, but they were having fun. They were laughing. And then all of a sudden, Mags wasn't laughing anymore. She took a couple really hard waves, and she went under and then came back up, and she's like, Mom, I'm nauseous. Mom, I need water. Mom, I can't drink water. And then it was, Mom, I can't breathe. And so, she kind of has a history of asthma. She hasn't had it in a couple of years, but a couple of years ago, she had asthma. And so I thought that was an asthma attack. I'm like, maybe she exerted herself too much, and she's having asthma. Because then she's starting I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And so we get in the car, and we take her home and get the inhaler for the asthma. It does nothing. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And Panda's like, this doesn't seem like asthma. And I'm like, all right, we're going right now. Get in the car. So we go to MD Now. And the doctor at MD Now says, go to the emergency room right away. As soon as he listens to her chest and her lungs. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? So we go to the emergency room in Jupiter. And they do all the tests. They do the chest x-ray. They do an ultrasound. They do CAT scan. They do all this different stuff to figure out what it is. And they can't really figure it out, but they didn't think it was in her lungs, but they weren't sure. And they said, go to the pediatrician tomorrow. So we went to the pediatrician yesterday, and she says, go right to the emergency room again. So we went to St. Mary's.
Yeah.
Because the breathing started getting again.
Yeah,
It turns out what had happened, the steroids that they gave her at the emergency room lasted for 24 hours.
Okay.
But right around 3 p.m. yesterday, the steroids started to wear off. And this started back up again. Turns out she was having laryngeal spasms from the damage of going under and the water in her throat and I guess almost drowning. But she wasn't almost drowning though, because she was she could have stood up. It was just that she went under. She got tousled. She got water up her nose and in her mouth. And instead of that water going in her lungs and causing the dry drowning, it went in her throat and caused these laryngeal spasms.
Jeez.
Which we didn't know on, Sunday, but we finally got that diagnosed properly at St. Mary's last night. And so they put her back on the steroids, and now we just have to wait. Because when these steroids wear off, the spasms could continue. So we've got 3 days worth of steroid medicine, and then hopefully when the steroid medicine wears off, then the spasms won't be there anymore. Our body will have healed itself.
That's some crazy stuff. You've introduced me to two things I'd never heard of medically before: non-fatal drowning and laryngeal spasms.
But he does know about steroids.
I do. Hopefully she's going to do some extra curls today.
Well, Chip from Little
Yeah.
Smiles came to her room at St. Mary's yesterday, and he's like, "Yeah, Mags, with all these steroids, you can start working out with Ralston."
I know. Take her to the gym today. If her breathing can handle it.
It's scary when you
Yeah.
don't know what's going
Sure.
on.
Yeah.
And when we thought it was the dry drowning, and I thought it was in her lungs, I'm going on the internet and I'm reading about
Oh,
dry
don't do
drowning.
that.
Bad move.
Don't do that.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Don't
god!
do that.
It's never good.
And Mags was reading about it too because she's on her phone and she's like, "Mom, am I gonna die?" And I'm like,
Oh, God.
"Oh,
Mom, am I going to die?
it was horrifying."
What a Monday.
What a Monday!
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You were detained and preoccupied yesterday.
very much so. And then, today and tomorrow, we got to just watch her because if the throat constricts too much with the spasms and it gets too inflamed,
Yeah.
they have to intubate, which means they put a tube down your throat to
Ooh.
make sure that you can breathe.
Yeah.
Well, let's get through this one first. Let's not get...
Yes.
Could you do a nice throat massage? Do they do that? Is there a way to massage the throat?
Oh, I think that'd feel great. I'd love a throat massage.
I think I've heard about
Yeah.
that. People do that for their vocal cords. You can actually get a throat massage.
Really?
Yeah.
it's like getting your neck
Well,
rubbed.
think about it. It's muscles
Yeah.
that you got in there. And I mean, the spasms, those are muscle spasms, I would assume. So it's the throats and the muscles in the throat.
Yeah, I'm giving
doing
myself
that.
one right now, and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do what Bird's doing. Yeah, where's your other hand? Okay. Just wanted to make sure over there.
Yeah, you were making a weird
The
face.
eyes are rolling back in the head. I'm like, all right, we need full disclosure here. Come on, man.
It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. Virginia, take it away, cause you know we need that Dirt of the Day.
Well, coming up in just a second in your Dirt of the Day, kind of crazy. They're doing the criminal trial against Harvey Weinstein, who was called in for jury duty. That's kind of crazy. We'll tell you that coming up in just a second. Before we get into that, Jada Pinkett, I guess, thought that there was something about Tupac that she just didn't like. Here is, I guess, Will Smith talking about how he couldn't be friends with Tupac because Jada was like, no.
Oops. Who keeps hitting my buttons over here? Do we know who's messing with these every day?
I don't know, Papa Bear.
Yeah, everybody set me up to fail over here.
That might be me.
Okay.
Because I record spots.
It's definitely her.
Okay.
Full disclosure.
Yes. All
I
right.
don't know.
Well, mystery solved. Don't worry about that investigation.
She's having a rough
Hey,
time.
Virginia, can you please return the buttons?
I don't know how to return them. I only know how to mess them up.
Okay. All right. Good.
Someone show me how to return them.
That was a big regret for me too, because I could never open up to interact with Pac. They grew up together, but she just loved him like he was the image of perfection. But she was with the Fresh Prince. I never could, even we were in a room together a couple times. I couldn't speak to him, and he wasn't going to speak to me if I wasn't going to speak to him. That was a huge regret of mine. I couldn't handle it.
I get it.
Interesting.
Okay. Tupac was a very handsome man.
Yeah, and I guess she knew too much about his personality. And
Well, maybe they hooked up, too, in the past, and they knew that.
She wanted to keep them separated. You know who January Jones is?
Yes.
The actress. She is confirming rumors that were out there swirling around that she dated Nick from The Bachelor. Now, Nick has his own podcast, and he has his own thing going on, and I guess a lot of celebrities have talked about this recently, that they will slide into each other's DMs from Instagram and start dating on the DL from the DMs.
Okay.
So January Jones confirming that, yes, she dated Nick from The Bachelor. Scandalous. This all came out on Dax Shepard's podcast, which is pretty good, by the way.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it.
Celebrities go in there and they really get on his level, and they
Yeah.
open up and they have long, hour-and-a-half interviews with Dax.
So
Yeah.
Nick is the run where I watch The Bachelor. I know who Nick is.
Nick is very confident.
He's all right.
He's all right.
Nick thinks Nick is great. And yeah, finally here, what is going on with the Harvey Weinstein trial? Like we told you, they are currently in the middle of picking for the jury, and Gigi Hadid was called as a potential juror for the criminal trial against Harvey. She was spotted at the courthouse in New York City yesterday. She told the judge that she had actually met him and Salma Hayek, who was one of his accusers. So the judge probably in the, I don't know, either the prosecution or the defense, I don't know how it all works, might say that she's a little bit too close to all of it.
Right, a little bias there.
She did say that she was still able to keep an open mind on all of it. So they asked her back. But I mean, if you know the people, you're not going to be on the jury, right?
Likely not.
No.
Yeah.
That'd be us, Kevin's up for murder.
He's not guilty.
We're on the jury.
Thank you. Let's go home.
Definitely not guilty.
All right.
And that's what's going on in your Dirt of the Day. Brought to you by the Little Smiles Stars Ball. We are getting so excited. We are just a few weeks away, and it's not too late to grab your ticket if you want to be a part of all the excitement and the fun as we celebrate local kids going through harsh times. It is a beautiful gala, open bar, beautiful meal at the Palm Beach County Convention Center coming up on February 1st. Get your tickets now at littlesmiles.org.
It's time for viral audio.
So hide your kids, hide your wife. Double rainbow all the way across the sky.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Well, Virginia's sad because her New Orleans Saints didn't bring home the hardware this year, but good news for Louisiana fans. LSU did last night in the College Football National Championship.
As they say in the bayou, laissez la bon temps rouler. Let the good times roll. LSU sits on the throne of college football as they knock out the defending champs.
There you go. 42-25 was the final score last night. Your Heisman Trophy award-winning quarterback Joe Burrow threw for 5 touchdowns and ran for another.
It was basically a home game because Baton Rouge is only 80 miles from the Superdome.
Yeah.
So they said 80% of the tickets were sold to local Louisiana fans.
Congratulations. You had a rough Monday. That's a good way to at least finish it.
Yes. We got discharged from the hospital just in time to make it home for the game.
Look at that.
Joe Burrow is expected to be the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft.
Where's he going to go?
Likely to the Cincinnati Bengals, and somebody joked last night that he probably saw his last ever playoff game. So, so the Bengals haven't been good in a very, very long time. They're kind of like the Browns and almost like the Dolphins. They just find a way to kind of miss out on good players, and then when they do have good players, they trade them away, and then when they go to another team like Ryan Tannehill, they become a lot better.
So is there any way for Burrow to save himself?
No. Well, find a bright line train. No. No, he's headed to Cincinnati, I would say. Unless some people are saying that maybe the Dolphins somehow could, but it's a Hail Mary, as they say in football, Virginia. Probably not going to happen. So he's most likely going to Cincinnati. But there you go. He had a celebration last night, and now it gets real. So congratulations to you, Virginia.
Yay,
and your
win.
LSU Tigers. Big win.
Do you want to watch the KVJ Show live or on demand? Find us on youtube.com/KVJ Show.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
What you got in your mind today, Jay Bird?
Y'all see this? That Mountain Dew came out with its own body wash?
No, I did not. It seems like it'd be very sticky.
Well, I mean, they made it into a body wash. It's not like a real soda.
Oh, okay.
Do you think that would smell good? Would you like that smell?
No.
Not your thing. It'd be very citrusy.
I mean, I like the citrus part. I just don't like the sweet part.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're too involved with the soda part.
I feel like it'd be sticky.
Yeah, but it's body wash. It's not really soda.
I'll try it.
I think that would smell great.
Where they sell it?
Get it online.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wrote down some other foods I think would turn great as a perfume or a cologne. Tell me what you think. Have you guys ever had Peach Crush?
Yes.
Oh, it is such an
I don't think I have.
It is an underrated soda.
You are right about that.
And
in a glass bottle.
Yeah. It smells great too. That would make a great perfume or a cologne.
That's like an old time soda.
It is.
Whenever you drive through like a country town and a country store, oh, they got Peach Crush. Look at that.
What do you know about that? There is definitely country soda.
Yes.
You don't see it that often.
No.
It's at certain places. You got to kind of look for that Peach Crush. Swiss cake roll. So if you put that into a perfume or from Little Debbie, or a cologne or a body wash in liquid form, that would smell fantastic. Strawberry frosting Pop-Tarts as a perfume or a cologne.
I love strawberry smelling. Yes.
I wish you could bottle this up. Cinnabon.
That smells amazing.
Put that on your body. That would be what a cologne or a perfume. If a girl smelled like Cinnabon, my gosh,
that would totally sell at like Christmas. All of those would. Those would totally be fun little novelty gifts.
And then the controversial one, I love the smell of Nutter Butter cookies.
Yeah.
Love Nutter. I know the peanut butter might be a weird cologne kind of a smell, but there's more sweet than peanut butter and Nutter Butter.
Interesting.
That's all I got for you.
Well, I think the debate is what foods actually smell good and are sexy. One of my favorite perfumes is that cotton candy. I love that scented stuff.
Yes.
And to me, that works as great as a perfume. The debate is, okay, does a Nutter Butter scent turn you on?
What was that called? Hot sugar or something?
Yeah, something along those
something
lines.
like that. It was really good.
So I love the smell of pizza, but would I want my girlfriend to smell like pizza?
It's a good question.
I don't know. I'd rather have her smell like Swiss cake rolls or Cinnabon.
Yeah, I think sweet works better than...
Maybe that's why you don't have a girlfriend. Are you eating them all?
Do you want to have a girl that smells like meatballs?
No, definitely not meatballs.
Oh, what about meatloaf?
No. I think sweet's the way to go.
Anything.
Gotta go sweet.
It's pretty gnarly. What you got on your mind today, Virginia?
Well, a little PSA. I saw something in my inbox yesterday, in my email. You know, I get those Groupon emails. I'm a fan of the Groupon. If it's something you were going to do anyway, and now you can save 50% on doing it, I love it. So every once in a while, I'll see little fun stuff pop up on my Groupon. I'll be like, it's a good deal. Let's buy it. But yesterday, I saw something pop up on my Groupon that horrifies me, and I just want to make sure everybody knows you should never buy a Groupon for liposuction. And here's why. The people doing Groupons for liposuction are probably learning. They probably don't know what they're doing. And do you really want to be the test rat, the lab rat for somebody learning how to do lipo? The answer is no. Never buy any cosmetic procedure on Groupon. And I'm not just talking about lipo. I'm talking about lip injections. I'm talking about even eyelash extensions. You want to go to somebody with experience.
Is this what you're on your mind or a commercial?
This is on my mind.
Okay.
I'm already tuned out. I'm already.
I know. It's some valuable information.
Well,
It's just...
I get worried about women going and using Groupons to save a little bit of cash and then hurting themselves because they didn't go to somebody with experience. Anything that's like that, you need to go to somebody with experience.
Certain things in life you can cut corners on, other
Yes.
things you shouldn't cut corners on.
Absolutely.
People are always talking about that Groupon. People love Groupon.
And it's great for certain things, like experiences, like going to the zoo or Lion Country Safari or bowling or purses, shoes, even massages. I would do it. There's a lot of stuff on Groupon I would do.
Is Groupon like those things? Remember back in the day, they'd always send them in the mail. They were a booklet of all kinds of coupons and deals all over your town. And
Yes.
you get a lot of buy one, get one free
Yes.
stuff, but you had to pay for this book. It was,
Yes.
it was like a discount on all things, but you still had to put down money.
That's how Groupon is. You buy it up front and then you use it later. Usually there's conditions and stuff that you have to follow, but that's Groupon.
Oh, my mom and Ann love that stuff because they always got like buy one, get one free restaurant stuff.
Yes.
It was always
They have that on Groupon. They have hotels.
It's a fun concept.
these deals.
Yeah.
Deals are great, but deals on plastic surgery are not great.
Okay.
And that's it.
Virginia has spoken. What I got on my mind here today, I am into plant-based everything, trying to find out the best stuff to get. I was telling you about the Dunkin' sandwich that they do. Kind of a heads up, though, because I feel like my wife lied to me because what I'm doing, I'm trying different diets out, just see how the body feels and what's going on, so don't hit me up. I'm not some kind of like a beatnik, stinky hippie. It's nothing like that. I
Beyond sausage.
Yeah.
You tried it at Dunkin'.
Yeah, I did. And my wife, because I saw there was egg and cheese on it, she's like, oh, that's all vegan egg and cheese.
No.
She lied to me. So, if I were like a diehard person that's like bent on their principles and everything, I'd be like, what? I just ate egg and cheese. But yeah.
Hey, when you're biting into it and it's lovely and delicious and the cheese is melting and oozing, just know that's not vegan cheese.
I'm like, it's amazing what they're doing with fake egg and cheese. I was blown away. I'm like, because I don't know anything about this fake food world. I'm just delving into it. I'm brand new to it. So I was completely blown away. I was going to come in here raving about how realistic the egg and fake cheese is at Dunkin', but no, it's the real thing. Just so
it's
you
just
know.
the meat.
Yeah, it's just the meat. And then I was like, well, I don't understand why you would just go with the plant-based meat, but then have the regular egg and cheese.
So if you're looking for the plant-based stuff, because I know that's your kick, and you want to go to a restaurant, Yard House has some stuff for you that you would like.
Yes.
That's actually legit.
There are certain places, and it is booming. And like I said here the other day, the Beyond Meat Company, their stock in last year has gone up 250%. So it is a booming industry as some people are trying it out.
And you can be a vegetarian and not be a vegan.
Yes, and I'm neither. I'm just a dude who's
dabbling.
Yeah, I'm just Kev. I'm just
trying to taste these trends.
Yeah, I'm
What's
trying to
out
see what the
there?
diet. I'm trying to do what's best for the bod, and so I'm giving a run with the plant-based stuff to see how it works. So if you are into that Dunkin' sandwich, a couple things. One, note the egg and cheese. Don't be lied to like I was. That is the real deal. But you can get something they're doing right now. They got a special limited deal with Snoop Dogg, and they're selling the Beyond DOGG sandwich, which is the plant-based sausage on a sliced glazed donut, inspired by Snoop Dogg.
So all the good you're doing by plant-based is now being undermined by high sugar.
Well, yeah, it's a weird world. There are a lot of celebrities who are getting into it and putting these weird spins on it. Apparently, Snoop Dogg loves glazed donuts, but he also loves the plant-based food.
I mean, who doesn't love a glazed donut?
You're right.
It sounds lovely.
It really is. So it's only available for a week, just to let you know. But I believe yesterday they started selling it. So if you want to try that out, I believe it should be at your area Dunkin'.
Well, to let you know, to celebrate LSU's win last night, I brought you a cup of gumbo that I made, and I picked all the meat out of it.
You did? With your hands, I hope?
With a spoon.
Oh, okay.
That's still not. It's saturated in animal juice.
There's definitely juice in there, but there's no chunks.
Well, luckily I'm not a vegan or I'm not a vegetarian. So, yeah, a little meat juice here and there is not going to kill me. So just want to give you all a heads up. Yesterday, Jaybird, he had a plant-based day. Well, he didn't have any meat. It was all waffles. The Waffle House Challenge, a 24-hour sentence, and each hour is removed when he eats one waffle.
I totally forgot we were erecting the waffle dome yesterday.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that's big.
It went down.
It's big, Virginia.
So how did the bird do? How long did it take for him to get out of his waffle jail? We'll give you all the details next.
Get the info on everything that's going on with us at kvjshow.com.
Saw over 4,000 people have checked out Jaybird's extracurricular Waffle House Challenge from yesterday. If you were listening to the regular show starting at 7:30, he took on this Waffle House Challenge. And the challenge is, for a lot of people, they would just go into a Waffle House and they would sit there for 24 hours. Now, the sentence is reduced for every waffle you eat by 1 hour. So if you eat only one waffle in a 24-hour period, you're there for 23 hours. So the big question was, how many waffles would Jaybird eat? What time would he get out of here? Right after the Show podcast yesterday, we put up a separate YouTube video, and he was just on there eating away where people could voyeuristically watch and see him as he tried to chow it down.
Well, it ended up turning into like a 6-hour show, honestly. I felt weird not saying anything and just having a microphone on and people looking.
Yeah.
And I've got that thing where if there's too much silence,
you can't
gotta
have
talk.
dead air. Even if you're riding in the car with Jason, he will keep talking.
Not always.
Yeah, you
He will.
With
Yeah,
you,
you will.
with you, I will, because it's weird that when there's silence, silence. I don't know.
And you're afraid if you let it go, she'll start saying negative things about you?
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
So, Jay-Bird, who you been kissing?
Yeah, so
Right,
silence
If I give you a gap, I immediately ask about your love life.
Yes, I feel like I gotta, I don't know, fill the space. So yesterday, we had the microphone off, and then everyone started complaining, we can't hear what you're saying, come on, put it. So it turned into a 6-hour show, and I'm real tired of myself.
The official timeout was
5:30.
5:30.
Okay.
Yeah, some people didn't understand the challenge. So some people on social media were.
Well, there's math in it, so right there you lost me. I was like, Suits, when can he leave?
Well, there's one person saying that I quit, and he only ate 14 waffles, and he quit, and he always makes a big deal out of nothing, and he's just a drama queen, and Jaybird's the worst.
Jaybird's
There's a lot of hate for a man just trying to chase greatness.
There is a lot of hate. Some people did not like the waffle challenge.
Really?
They said I complain too much. I'm a little bee.
Okay.
They don't want to hear me eat. What I get it. That my act is tired, and I agree. My act is tired.
But I'm tired.
I just went on social media and agreed with all the haters. Like, your act is so tired.
You're right.
I know. It is very tired.
I'm sorry. I don't know what else to be.
But people are like, you didn't eat 24 waffles? I wasn't supposed to eat 24 waffles.
No, yeah. I mean, every time we start talking about it, I explain what it was. Is that such a hard concept to grapple?
It starts with 24 hours.
Yes. Yeah.
And then for each waffle you eat, an hour goes off your sentence.
Yeah.
So you eat one waffle, then you're in there for 23 hours.
Is that hard to understand?
I mean, I am dumb as they come when it comes to numbers, and I get it.
For some people, it is tough.
I mean, if you can't get that, you got a problem.
Okay.
Well, I can tell you this. I absolutely hate waffles now. I hate
Do
them.
you?
Oh, I hate them with a passion. Well, the first three, I had syrup and butter on them.
Because going into this, you loved waffles.
Well, Ralston said to me, you're going in kind of soft. You're not supposed to enjoy food challenges. And he was right.
Damn.
And I weighed myself
he
down
went in with butter
greatly.
and
He
syrup,
is the
and he
champ
was
from
hungry.
the Taco Dome.
Kevin's very good at
And
eating
the Pizza
challenges.
Dome.
He's great.
Yeah.
I'm officially retiring from eating challenges.
Again?
That's what you said after the pizza.
You're the kiss of eating challenges.
Well, I'm really terrible at them.
Yesterday, Jay Bird did the Waffle House challenge, got out of here at 5:30 p.m. He started at 7:30 a.m., so it took him 10 hours to get the whole thing done. So you're able to knock off, what was the final waffle tally, Jay Bird?
Was it 13?
That we had?
14.
14 waffles.
And I think we all learned something about ourselves during that
Don't do
journey.
a waffle challenge.
Thank you to Sweet Dennys and Suits, the kid, the prodigy. They stayed with me the entire time. Solidarity.
That was
Okay.
sweet.
Yeah, look at that.
And if you're keeping tabs, you consume 5,600 calories.
Not the whole day. I didn't. I got sick quickly after.
Oh, you did, huh?
I mean, the challenge was official. I waited for a little bit, but yes, it was not a fun evening, I should say.
All came back, huh?
Oh, it was rough.
Got a return on your investment?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, this is some good news. If you like to eat and hate going to the gym, researchers at the University of Michigan say that the naturally occurring protein cestrine appears to mimic the effects of exercise on both flies and mice in experimental trials. They're getting to the point where they're saying you could take a pill and not have to go to the gym and you would get muscle production.
What?
What? Now, I don't know
All right.
exactly how much. I mean, are you going to get jacked on just one pill? Or
Where do I sign up for the clinical
I know.
trial?
I think this is what we've all been waiting for because it's a small percentage of people that actually like working out. If you go into the gym and you even did a poll of people that are there, how many of you you're loving every second of this?
So you don't like working out? You do it
No,
because
I don't
you
like
have
it.
to do. So if
Yes.
you did not have to work out, you would not.
I would never work out. I'd never see a gym ever again.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't go in there and be like, gosh, I just love this. Yeah.
You're
I'm not-
right there. There are
I'm
some
not
people
wired that way.
It takes time. It takes money. It takes energy.
Pain.
I gotta put on like leggings and
Yeah.
That one
I
workout.
got things I'd rather do.
The workout you were doing,
Yeah.
and you were doing it for a while. It's
3
kinda
years,
like
yeah.
that circuit workout
Yeah.
where you were doing the rope. That was miserable to watch.
It was tough. Yeah, you should try doing it.
CrossFit
Yeah.
Kev.
You should try doing it.
He made me do like 10 seconds of it. Like,
People at the gym thought you were training for the Olympics or something. Like, what's he training for?
Yeah, they'd always go to my trainer and be like going, what is he Navy SEALs? Is he MMA? Like, why is he? And he's like, no, he does radio. They're like, I didn't know radio was that hard.
We thought people on radio were gross and fat.
They are. He's an anomaly.
Well, Kev's one of those guys, you know, if he's working out, you can't have any kind of conversation with him. He's going station to station.
Well, you
I'm a
can't. You don't
convo
have.
guy.
You can't talk. Like there's no wind to speak. So yeah, this would be amazing. Again, I don't know what level we would get to because it seems like what they're mainly testing this out for is for people that just physically can't get to the gym. Probably people that are older and they're still losing muscle and just to have muscle for daily function is, I think, what they're looking at.
Sure.
Yeah. So unfortunately, it's not going to be a get jack quick pill, at least right now, but maybe it will. What I think is interesting is how they try it out. Mice and flies. They say they built a fly treadmill.
Interesting.
I didn't know you could get a fly on a treadmill. So that's what they're doing. So that could be great news. You always hear these stories. I don't know how far away it might be, but it'd be kind of cool.
Kind of horrifying. I hate flies already, but now imagine a jacked up fly. Like, what's up?
I'm trying to picture, and how will they get a fly on a treadmill? Are you messing with me?
That was the term what they
We
called
can't
it.
get J-Bird on a treadmill.
I think it was
fly.
a tube that they would walk up and down, and they dubbed it a fly treadmill.
Flies and mice. Mice they're always involved in some kind of experiment.
Poor mice.
I know.
When you're
man.
born, just be like, okay, this is, I guess, my destiny. So, at what age do you think you're most miserable, and why? If you had to take a guess, what would you say? Because they've done a study at Dartmouth College in New Hampshire, and they're looking at data, pretty good data, 8 million Americans over the past 3 decades. So it's a pretty extensive survey they did and study.
Because I don't think it's later in life. I thought it might be, but I've been reading a lot of stuff. People that go into their 50s, it's almost like a second puberty for a lot of people.
Yeah,
They have kind of a
peaceful and happy.
It's almost like
Yeah.
they accept life for what it is, and they want to go and have a good time now.
You're kind of right in what you're saying. And what they have found over an 8 million person study, which is quite extensive, life goes in a bell curve of happiness. They say that the age when you're most miserable is 47.2 years old. But that is the bottom of it. And they say for a lot of people what that is they believe at 47.2 years of age, you kind of realize, oh, I thought I was going to be somebody massive. I thought
Here, and I'm only here.
I thought, yes.
Reality sets in.
I thought my life was going to be great. I was going to be president. I was going to be a celebrity. I was going to be this. And you know what? I'm just going to be a mom, or I'm just going to be a clerk, or I'm just going to be whatever it might be. But they say once you get past 47.2 years of age, you start realizing, you know what? Being a mom is pretty awesome. Like what I do for these kids and how they look up to me and the time that I've had with them. Or you know what? Being a clerk, I've touched people's lives. I've brightened people's lives. I do something great. And so after 47.2, you start getting a sense of gratitude back into it. And you start saying, you know what? That might have made me miserable in the first place. If I would have been a multimillionaire, I might have been a miserable multimillionaire. I could have been a miserable celebrity. Who knows what would have happened? You said, you know what? I had a purpose in life. I've done some amazing things. My life is actually really fantastic when I look at it. Unfortunately, it takes us to get past that point of 47.2, but there's a good lesson in that it's really all about gratitude, and everybody does have a purpose. And you may look at your life and be going, I'm inconsequential. You're not. No person really is.
I like your sad voice. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Droopy dog.
Yeah, you are something. I mean, you've touched people's lives that you don't even realize.
I also think, too, because I have some older relatives, and I've seen them kind of get more relaxed and enjoy life. I think at a certain point, some people go, man, the dance isn't that long, and I only have X amount of time left here on this earth. Let me go ahead and have a little fun. Let me enjoy the moments.
Yeah, it's interesting looking back at kind of this bell shape or U-shaped curve. They say when you're 18, you're happy, but as you get into your 20s, 30s, 40s, you get progressively more miserable, according to the study that they had done. But then after you get past that 47.2, it starts going the other way. And then by the time you hit the age of 70, you're just as happy as you were when you were 18.
Huh.
So you kind of get back to that. So that's how your happiness curve kind of goes. But what would be great is if you are in your 20s, 30s, or 40s right now, early 40s, just start looking at the gratitude right now. And if you started early in life, you wouldn't have that gradual descent into the point where you get most miserable at 47.2.
I can see that between your 20s and 50s, you do worry and have a lot of anxiety about a lot of things. And a lot of it, if you really look at it, it's kind of small stuff. But in our heads, we think it's way bigger than what it really is. But in the grand scheme of it all, it's very small.
Absolutely.
And two, I mean, a lot of that sadness can be situational. You've put yourself in a situation that either stresses you out or makes you sad. Do a little bit of charity work and see how bad other people have it. And it really does flip your perspective. Instead of you're like, oh, poor me, then you're like, damn, I can breathe. I've got my health. Poor me, BS. Poor them. Let me help other people and then make myself feel better.
You just have to have the knowing that's what's going on in your life.
Right.
If it's a situational issue causing depression, something's got to click for you. Go, this situation's bringing me down.
And sometimes it needs the perspective of somebody else to look at your life and help you because you're so in it, you can't see it.
Yeah. That's why for us, we do a lot of KVJ Volunteer Army projects for you. We got a whole bunch lined up for the year 2020 where you can easily on a Saturday morning give up 2 hours, come out, do something great, and walk away saying, oh my goodness, I did something great. See, right away, if you just do one KVJ Volunteer Army event, your life meant something.
Well, endorphins. I'm telling you, every time I walk to my car after leaving one of our volunteer events, my chest is up high. I feel like light and full
Secret
of
to life and
endorphins.
happiness.
And it really is a huge, huge secret.
You meet people that way, too. You meet friends that way. A lot of people have met through KVJ Nascent Volunteer Army, and they're friends now because of that.
And it's like-minded people who also want to be happy and help other people. So you find a lot of kindness in those circles. It really is a good place to plant yourself.
Lots of chances to do a variety of different things to help people right here in South Florida. If you want to sign up for the KVJ Volunteer Army, you can go to our website, go to kvjshow.com. You'll see the logo right there. All you have to do is put in your name and email address, and we will be in touch.
This is 97.9 WRMF Palm Beach.
It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. Virginia, take it away, because you know we need that Dirt of the Day.
Well, coming up in just a second in your Dirt of the Day, we will get into Sia's big announcement that she just dropped on us. I did not realize she had a child, but yes, she does. Details coming up in just a second. Before we get into that, Timbaland shared a recent picture of himself and did a whole interview and talked details about how he lost more than 130 pounds. Wow, that is
Did he really?
huge.
Good for him.
He says he started by doing 2 workouts a day, boxing in the morning and then cardio and weights at night. He said he had a chef start bringing him healthy meals, doing a lot of chicken and salmon and veggies, and had no processed foods, a bunch of water, and then lost 130 pounds.
They say that boxing
it
sheds pounds quickly.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I go to 9 round and check that out. And
Yeah,
it's
9 round is fun, too.
Yeah, it's just 9 rounds, 3 minutes each, 27 minutes, your workout's done. It's amazing when you are working a heavy bag, 30 seconds feels like an eternity.
What'd you call me?
What?
Never mind.
Oh.
You called her a heavy bag.
Oh. Sorry.
You're trying to have a serious conversation. I'm over here being a
You're
jackal.
I welcome your jokes back, Virginia.
You get paid for those zingers.
Yes.
So, congratulations, Timbaland. 130 pounds is incredible. It looks like Selena Gomez is gracing us with a new album. It's already out. I'm sure you've already listened to it back to back, J-Bard.
I mean, the whole thing cover to cover.
The title of it, though, I'm sure you have questions about the title of it.
So many questions. The 5th time I've heard this clip today. I can't wait to hear it for a 6th.
Oh, yeah. Some exciting stuff.
Did you always know that the album was going to be called Rare?
Yes.
You did?
The word is so special and it means a lot. And I think in this time where everyone is obsessed with feeling like they need to look the same way or get things done or whatever it may be, and I mean, I don't judge. I'm just saying there are some girls who are hurting because they feel like they don't fit in. But this word is eliminating that because you weren't meant to look like everyone else. You're meant to be who you are, and that's unique and that's rare.
Okay, inspirational stuff.
Virginia, you are our rare snowflake.
You're rare too.
You are our rare thumbprint.
Sia just dropped some news on us. I did not realize that she adopted a son. Good for her. In May of last year, she watched this HBO documentary called Foster about foster teens and helping, and she immediately tweeted out that she wanted to adopt one of the teens featured on the show. And she's not given a lot of details about it, but yeah, just adopted a son. Good for her. And that is what's going on in your Dirt of the Day, brought to you by the Little Smiles Stars Ball. It is right around the corner. Not too late to grab your ticket or your table or your sponsorship. We would love to have you be a part of this glamorous, glorious night at the Palm Beach County Convention Center as we celebrate local kids right here in our community that are battling all kinds of crazy stuff. For one night, they're not sick. For one night, they're not homeless. For one night, they just get to walk the red carpet and be celebrated. It's beautiful. It will move you on a level like you have never been moved. And it's so easy to get involved. You can volunteer. You can donate. You can also be there. We want you however you can do it. Go to littlesmiles.org for more details.
Well, I got some celebrities that are having a birthday today. One of my favorite artists of all time. Been in several different legendary bands like Nirvana. Now he's the lead of the Foo Fighters. Dave Grohl turns 51 years old today.
We both love that guy.
Yeah, massively talented. And still somehow underrated, I believe.
He gets it too, man.
Yeah,
You ever hear him in an interview?
Yeah.
He's so cool.
One of our listeners just sent me an interview that he done. I can't remember who it was, with a female comedian. And yeah,
he just gets
great in it.
life, man.
Yeah, he's good. He's good in every way. Jason Bateman, somebody else I love, is 51 today, too. He's in Ozark, so many great movies. There's not much stuff that he does that I don't like. LL Cool J is 52 today, and Carl Weathers, who is now in The Mandalorian.
He's outstanding in it.
Yes, he is.
He's outstanding in anything he does. He's a great actor.
Yeah, he's 72 years old, and I saw an interesting little tidbit about the Mandalorian, which is the Star Wars thing they've got on Disney+.
Listen up, Virginia.
Yes, pay attention.
You've already lost me.
There will be a test later on this.
I'm napping.
The Baby Yoda that everybody seems to love in there.
Okay, now I'm back in. I love Baby Yoda memes.
See, that's why they do that. They get the people like Virginia involved. Even she hates Star Wars, but Baby Yoda, they get her.
That Baby Yoda melts my cold Star Wars heart.
It's awesome.
Even if you don't watch it, you're probably aware of the Baby Yoda memes. Well, that Baby Yoda, if you don't know, is a puppet.
It's not real?
It's not a real creature.
What the F?
I know. Shocking. But if you were to buy Baby Yoda, how much would you pay? How much?
Well, my friend is selling them bootleg style on Facebook because he figured out how to make them with his 3D printer.
Okay.
So if you want one, let me know. I can get you a deal.
Oh, you got a lot of people like that who are selling illegal Star Wars.
And they look tight, too.
They do.
They look good.
Some of this 3D printing stuff is better than the stuff you get at stores.
Absolutely.
How much you pay for that Baby Yoda, the real one, not the fake bootleg online Baby Yoda?
Oh, the real puppet used in the movie.
Yes, in the show that they have on Disney+.
It's going for $25,000, I bet.
$25,000 you think is how much it costs? Okay, what do you think, Virginia?
You've overbid. I'm going $26,000.
Okay. You said he overbid?
He underbid.
Underbid. Okay.
She wanted to make it a little bit more confusing.
Okay. I'm really sorry I went down this path.
I know.
Actual retail price, $5 million.
Oh, my gosh.
That thing you see, Baby Yoda, is a $5 million puppet. That's crazy, isn't it?
Like it costs $5 million to
$5 million to put that thing together.
They'll sell it for $5 million.
No.
Okay.
Gosh, I'm really sorry I brought this whole thing up. This is a bad idea. Boy, I wish I could go back in time.
Why are we
Do you wish you did a show with Baby Yoda instead? I feel like he'd be better on the air.
The Baby Yoda you see in The Mandalorian is a puppet that costs $5 million. I should have just said that. Okay. Boy, oh boy. All right. Oof. All right, got a few other birthdays here. Got one for Matt, my favorite butthead husband. Happy third anniversary. Love y'all forever. Jessica, OG, Zamboni matrimony winners. Remember them? We had them strapped on there. We married them on the ice at the BB&T Center during a Florida Panthers game.
And then they got rid of that big Zamboni. They don't have it anymore.
Yes.
We can't do any more Zamboni matrimony.
I know. Sad. Also got a birthday to my boo, Rachel. Love you. Hope you have a wonderful day from Brandon. And then a 15th anniversary shout out, my love, Danny. God continue to bless our marriage with more love and crazy fun-filled days to come.
Yay.
That's from your wife, Pita. So
That's
there
sweet.
you go. Good stuff. Got a birthday you'd like to get to us? Send us an email. Mail at kvjshow.com. mail at kvjshow.com. Okay, I'd like to get your thoughts on this. We received this email here today to try to settle a little bit of a debate that was going on last night. There were lots of good things to watch on TV. I know Virginia's very happy because her LSU, Louisiana State University Tigers, beat the Clemson Tigers.
Yes, if you yelled "Go Tigers," you were guaranteed to be happy.
So a Tigers fan is excited about last night's outcome. Both teams called their stadiums Death Valley. Boy, is there an original thought left in college football today?
Who was first? Was it Clemson or LSU?
That is a great question, Virginia, and who should actually have that? In fact, to me, I believe that the winner of last night's game should get to keep the Tigers and the name Death Valley. The other has to lose it and change it.
Thank you. Now you're the goldfish.
No, I'm going Pigeons.
You're the pigeons.
Should be the Clemson Pigeons.
And you play in the pigeon park.
Yes, in the cage. That should be what it is you've got, yes, with the pigeon park.
I'm sure they won't have a problem with that.
Last night's score, 42-25. LSU getting the win. Joe Burrow, the Heisman Trophy winner. 6 total touchdowns, 5 passing, 1 throwing. So that was some exciting stuff. Pretty good game for most of it, all the way until halftime at least. It was definitely a good contest. Clemson was up at 1 point, 17-7. LSU takes the lead going into halftime.
I mean, Joe Burrow's awesome, but their quarterback is no slouch. He looks like a vanilla avatar, but he was pretty tight.
Yes, he is pretty good. He's a very good quarterback in his own right. So last night, you can imagine there are a lot of people that are going to local sports bars to watch the game. If you've ever been into an ale house, a Duffy's, one of those places, they've got TVs all over. But when you have something like that, pretty much about every TV is going to be on because most people are there eating to watch the game. So we got this email this morning sent to us, mail at kvjshow.com, and it says, I went out to eat last night with my girlfriend. We went to one of South Florida's biggest sports bar chains. Understandably, every TV was on the college football national championship game.
Does it rhyme with Muffies?
We don't want to get into rhyming right now.
They did not even say. That's how they left it. It could have been definitely a Duffy's. She doesn't know anything about football and was already upset that she was missing The Bachelor. So she asked the waitress if she would put one of the TVs on ABC so that she could see who got a rose. Our waiter then told us that they weren't allowed to put anything else on the TVs. So my girlfriend gets a little pissy. And then we have a fight about it on the way home. I told her that it was a sports bar and they had to play to the masses. She told me it was just one TV. They had like 8,000 of them. But then I shot back. So each person in the bar gets to pick a show that they want to watch no matter what it is. I don't think she understands, and she doesn't think I understand. Who is right?
The masses always win. I saw this shake down at the Jupiter Ale House when they did a bachelor watching party there.
Okay, yeah.
All of Tyler Cameron's family and friends were all there, like cheering. Mm-hmm. And half of the restaurant was watching The Bachelor, and the other half couldn't believe it. Like, all the people that showed up to watch sports were so mad, but you have to go with the majority.
Yeah.
You can't fight the majority in a sports bar.
Yeah, I kind of thought that was it. I am very sports biased, so that's kind of my thing where you got to say, hey, look, if you want to watch something that nobody else in here wants to watch.
If you want to watch The Bachelor, go to a cat cafe.
Yeah, shouldn't you have to, put it on your phone? Wouldn't that what people would say? Put it on your phone, I think?
Yeah, doesn't ABC streams live on your phone? They have to, right?
It's touch and go. There's some stuff I
Your
can get.
Your Xfinity does that? I know my DirecTV would.
It does something where a lot of times, because I think now they're starting to get regulations on streaming, where if I will go to the Xfinity app, it says you have to be on your in-home Wi-Fi to watch that channel.
Ah.
That happens with sports stuff. So if it's on an ESPN or an ABC, I don't worry because I can still get it on the ESPN app. And I think that's what they're doing. things are always changing when it comes to watching things on your phone. If they're on demand, it's usually easy. If they're live and they're streaming, it is different. You are not able to get a lot of things. You have to have typically the app, and sometimes you have to then pay a separate fee. Like I was trying to watch some SEC football games, and I couldn't get the CBS app without paying for a CBS subscription.
Wow.
And I did not want to.
And it's ever changing. Yeah, don't get into that CBS subscription. I did that to watch Big Brother, and they left me on hold for 47 minutes when I called and tried to cancel.
You go after people, though, when they try to get $20 out of you. Like you will.
Oh, I will chase somebody down.
You will waste an hour and a half for $20. I don't know, man.
It's the principle of it.
I hear you.
Mm-hmm. Some of the comments coming in to help add to the resolution here on who is right. Tex said, I'm a girl who loves sports and embarrassingly admits I also love The Bachelor too. But you can't be mad that they aren't playing that at a sports bar on any night, let alone the night of such a huge game.
Right.
That was okay. Somebody said that Hulu has The Bachelor. And that does make sense because that would be Disney, Hulu, and ESPN Plus all tied together.
Thank you for telling me that I've been meaning to cancel my Hulu, just like you're trying to cancel your stuff. I bought Hulu for one show that it was for Alfred Hitchcock, an old show. I never watch it, and I'm paying this Hulu price every single month. I got to get out of Hulu.
If you want me to call Hulu and pretend like I'm you and cancel your subscription, I can do it on my drive to Tequesta.
Every time I call one of those places, they always call me ma'am. They always think
They always call me sir.
They think I'm a woman. Okay, ma'am, calm down.
Do they still have that thing? I remember the one time we had gone in. Remember when they used to have that thing you could get where you could change any TV? It was universal remote control.
Yes, we try to do a bit like that. But we were going to send me into a sports bar.
I think it was during the Super Bowl, and when a big play was getting ready to happen, we were going to have you switch the TVs.
But the
diabolical.
But the problem was it was so you had to time it out in such a way that it was impossible to do. It was so hard.
And you better not let anybody figure out what you're doing, or they will fight you.
Does that still work? I mean, did they still have the universal remotes, and would it work if you went into a sports bar to change your TV? I don't think so, because I think now they're so complex. When I've seen somebody, and they will change a channel for you if you ask.
Well, all the sports bars have DirecTV because of the NFL package.
Yeah, so it's not going to switch like the regular cable.
That might be switching soon, but if you can find a DirecTV universal remote, if they make that, you could really mess with people.
What was it though? Because sports bars, people they turn insane. What was the one bit we did where I got the bullhorn broken and I got jumped?
You went to Brews Room in Boynton Beach during the Ohio State-Michigan game, and they're bitter rivals. They hate each other.
And you were dressed in Michigan gear.
Yes, and you got on the bullhorn and started doing Michigan chants, and they tried to remove you from the bar, and then
it turned weird.
They didn't remove you gently. Let's just say that.
Well, because the whole it was one of those stunts where I was there for like 2 hours before drinking.
So he
had beer muscles.
Yeah, he didn't exactly go out willingly either. No. Yeah, he put up a little bit of a fight, and they fought back.
and I did not win.
He did not win.
You weren't built for that fight.
Buckeyes won, Michigan nothing. Yeah. Coming up here in a couple minutes, the South Florida Fair is going to be opening up on Friday. A lot of people are very excited about that. We got a 4-pack of tickets coming up for you. We found out something yesterday, Virginia. This is very exciting. There is one giant tortoise from the Galapagos Islands, they say, is almost solely responsible for returning the population to good levels after siring 800 baby tortoises.
I mean, he likes to get his freak on.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And they actually got audio of him in action.
Are we sure that's not Denny's?
That tortoise is.
It sounds like Denny's faking an animal.
I know.
Noise.
I played that too, and I'm like, are we playing Dennys Or Animal here? What's going on?
That's Denny's when he has poopy cramps.
Really? Oh, boy. Yeah.
It sounds constipated.
Oh, he's having a rough time, no doubt. So we're going to find out. Can we crack the code? Is it Dennys or Animal? Want to play for those South Florida Fair tickets? Dial us up, 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763. Coming up.
Get the info on everything that's going on with us at kvjshow.com.
Some added comments here that we'd had. There was a little bit of an argument last night that had gone on because a dude took his girlfriend to a local sports bar. They were watching the national championship game pretty much on every TV. She wanted to watch The Bachelor.
Girl, you went to the wrong restaurant.
Well, and they wouldn't change the TV for her. And on the way back, she's like going, I mean, there was like 8,000 TVs. Why couldn't they put it on just one? I don't get what the big deal is.
Can you even enjoy reality TV at a bar? You can't even hear it.
I think what she wanted to do, she just wanted to see the end part and to see which
Who
person
got a rose?
Yes, that's what she was looking for. So that's all she wanted to see.
Well, you can read the wrap-up on Yahoo News,
Yeah,
honey.
I mean, the bar doesn't care what you want.
She's like going, why don't they care what I want? I mean, I'm here, I'm a paying customer.
I've heard enough.
Why not me?
Don't marry her.
Do not.
Some of the texts came in. One said, it's called a sports bar, not a TV bar. Somebody else said, bars and restaurants are only allowed to play sports or news on the TV unless they pay for the broadcast right to air something like The Bachelor. And somebody said, yes, if you want to change the TVs too, you can actually do it on an app. I've done it at Duffy's before. And Virginia, you said that a friend of yours, they do it at a local pizza place.
Yeah, somebody just texted me and said her son is 12 and he has a remote app on his phone and he can go into their local pizzeria and change the TV on his phone. And Rocco has that too. He's got a remote app on his phone.
Yeah.
And he can change the TV at home with it. I think every television company, I know Samsung like we have and LG, they have their own app with a remote on it.
Okay. The only challenge is, like you said, a lot of sports bars, they do the satellite stuff, and I think you need a more advanced remote or a specific remote to dial with the DirecTV.
But you can change the input, and you can put it from...
it might go staticky.
Yeah,
possibly.
it might go staticky, and that would definitely cause an uprising.
Somebody else texted in and said, yeah, the server at a sports bar gave my kids the remote control to let them choose, and they put cartoons on every TV. It got ugly.
I bet. Oh, man.
That's fun. They didn't know.
They didn't know. They was having a good old time. All right. Well, yesterday we had a great story. If you love some animals, the giant tortoise. I know that they have got one at, is it Lion Country Safari where they have that giant tortoise?
They have a huge one. I think he's over 100.
Yes.
Yeah, they're old.
Is he still celebrating? Or
he's partying still.
Okay.
He was there when I was there not too long ago.
Okay, that's good to hear. Well, one on the Galapagos Islands, they say, has sired 800 new giant tortoises, and they actually captured him in the act.
I mean, that sounds like a happy tortoise.
That's some amazing stuff.
I don't know. He sounds like he's slowing down.
Think so?
I don't know. It sounds happy to me.
Yeah. Some people are thinking maybe that was Dennys. That actually is the real tortoise. So Dennys is getting so good at this that people just can't even tell the difference anymore. It's kind of the way it's going.
He is skilled.
Mm-hmm. Corey is on here from Wellington for another round of Dennys or Animal. Hello, Corey.
Hi, good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys?
Good. Are you an animal lover like we all are?
I very am so.
Good. Well, then this is your game here. Dennys or Animal. We've got the sounds of some different animals, and what you got to do is tell us if this is the real animal making the noise or if it's our producer, Dennys. Okay, Corey?
I'll do my best. I know he's getting pretty good at this.
Oh, he's getting great. He's getting great. People were, in fact, we were playing a legit one yesterday. Like, that has to be Dennys, and that was not Dennys.
I know.
That was a real giant tortoise. What I got for you here is a llama.
Ooh.
A llama.
Jaybird's favorite.
Yeah, Jaybird loves llamas. They just don't love him.
They do not love me. They're kind of a mean animal.
Funniest thing I ever saw, a llama spit at him on his birthday. When he was there, he was there for a private llama encounter, and this llama was having none of it.
And I remember I only known Virginia for about, 14 days, and she's laughing at my pain.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, man, this woman is evil.
This is a witch.
At least I'm consistent.
So what do you think? Is this a real llama or is this producer Dennys? Wow.
That
my
is
gosh.
kind of tough.
It is.
Oh, God.
I know. What do you think? Is that Oh, okay. Is that a
I'm gonna
real?
go with llama.
You're going to go with llama, so you're going to say real animal on that. You are correct, yes.
Yay!
That is an actual llama making that noise.
At the end, at the very end, it sounds like it's human.
Actually, I was thinking at the very end it sounds like Denny's.
I thought that was Denny's.
Yeah.
I actually got tricked.
Yeah, it was this last little part right here.
Yeah, that sounds like Denny's.
That was Denny's too.
That's a llama.
That is a llama.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is a llama. Go figure. Okay, well, they only get tougher from here. Now we've got a stampede of bison. Stampede of bison here. What do you think? Is this Denny's or Animal here? You can tell they're big, majestic beasts as they roam the plains.
Was that a zombie bison?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. What do you think here, Corey? Is that Denny's or Animal?
Oh, tough. I think I might go with Denny.
Boy, the bison was kind of moving slow, too, with all the whole stampede there.
Yes,
It was weird.
everything else sounded like it's moving fast, and yet the zombie bison sounded like it's moving slow. That is correct. That was actually
Denny's, you got to keep up with the herd. You can't have a zombie bison and with all the running bisons, duh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's working on it. He's still learning.
He's still learning.
He's still learning.
There's still so many animals.
Mm-hmm. Next up here on Dennys or Animal, we've got a lion roaring.
Oh.
Fearsome. Okay, what do you think here? Is this Dennys or Animal? Do you hear, when you're king of the jungle, your roar, it echoes
It
throughout
shakes
the land.
things.
Yes,
It's
it
a
does.
reverb there.
Yes, and that's how all the other animals know that you are the king of the jungle because it's so fierce. See?
Man, give me goosebumps. I'm so scared.
That's no zombie. That one is alive.
Yeah.
Corey, what do you think? Is that Denny's or Animal?
I think I'll go with Denny's again.
Gonna go Denny's again? Is that? Yes, that is Denny's. That was Denny's. Wow, Corey, you do know your animals. That is a perfect score. Congratulations, 3 for 3. And you have got a 4-pack of tickets to go to the South Florida Fair, okay?
Awesome. My boys will be so happy.
Yay.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, congratulations on that.
So much.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely enjoy that. That's great stuff.
It opens up this Friday.
Yes, it does.
Woohoo.
Yes, it does. Absolutely excited to get there. Are you going to be taking the whole fam out this weekend, Virginia?
Of course. My kids love the fair.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Rocco, who is a daredevil, loves every ride. He's pissed they won't let him go on the upside-down roller coaster because he's too short.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what I did last year that was real fun? Was the Fun House.
Oh, he loves those.
Yeah, the Fun House. It's kind of creepy. It's a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Okay. Well, you were out yesterday, Virginia. Your daughter, Magnolia, she got rocked around by some waves. And you pretty much spent all day yesterday bouncing around from MD Nows to emergency rooms to pediatricians, back to emergency rooms, before you found out that Magnolia had
laryngeal spasms.
Thank you.
So she, got rocked by the beach. Even though she was standing in water that she could stand up in, they call it a near drowning, even though she wasn't like drowning. But the way that the waves rocked her, the water got in her throat. It caused trauma to her throat. Now, luckily, it didn't get in her lungs, which is what we thought at first, and we were freaking out.
Yes.
So it was just in her throat, but they couldn't really figure it out at first. St. Mary's figured it out last night. And so it's still spasming, but they have controlled it now with steroids. So she's going to be on steroids for the next 3 days. And then hopefully the spasms will stop when the steroids wear off. But that's what happened yesterday. They got it under control, and then the spasms started up again. And it's scary. When your kid can't breathe,
Sure.
and your kid is looking at you going, Mommy, I can't breathe. Am I going to die?
Wow.
It will rock your world. And she's like, making these noises, and it's whistling from inside of her throat. It was so super scary. But now we at least know what's the matter.
Is this at all some way normal? Does this happen often in South Florida with kids going to the ocean? Because I had never heard of this.
I think the whole thing of like dry drowning, which I learned so much about, it does happen, and it's a real thing, and it may not be something that people know about. When you accidentally ingest water and it goes and hits places it's not supposed to, your lungs, your throat, wherever it hits you and does trauma and damage, it can mess you up.
Question, and it may be a stupid question, but I thought...
please, bring it.
So technically, by you saying, that, could you do that by drinking water? Because you're ingesting water. See what I'm saying? What's the difference if you...
I guess technically you could get water.
If you're so spastic and uncoordinated that you are getting laryngeal spasms drinking water, is that possible?
I don't know about the spasms part because that was actual trauma of the event.
She got hit by the waves. She got hit
by the waves, knocked into the ground. I think... the water and the trauma is what is giving her the spasms. But if you can drink water, you can get water in the wrong areas.
Yeah, because Ralston loves water. What if he's just real energetic one day and it goes down the wrong, hole?
Which we've all done that. Haven't you drank a glass of water and you're like, oh, it went down the wrong pipe? Could you dry drown?
Could you dry drown from drinking water? And if that's the case,
I don't know the answer, but I don't think it's a stupid question.
I really, if you can drown by just drinking water, I'm out. I'm out.
Well, I assume you can still do it by Mountain Dew, too.
Yeah. Soda, anything else.
Yeah, but it tastes better.
Yeah.
You go out smiling.
Yes.
Yesterday, Jaybird was doing the Waffle House Challenge this time, and he was... at this time, drinking Mountain Dew with his waffles.
I went in real soft, Virginia. I didn't have the right mind frame.
He had butter and syrup all over him. He was enjoying the first three, Virginia. Then it got real.
I really did.
Then it got real.
Oh, it got real awful.
You should have seen him. He was like in a waffle coma. His eyes were like rolling back into his head.
He loved it.
Oh, well, no. He was like about to pass out. He needed a nap.
Well, I'm just not
he
good.
was so tired.
I think I have an ulcer. And I think that had something to do with it. I know I sound like I'm making excuses, but after 6, I became extraordinarily full to the point where I was in pain.
I think that's normal, though. 6 waffles?
I don't know, man. Twitter got in my head. They made me feel like 6 wasn't enough. I don't know.
The grand total yesterday was 14 waffles, is what Jaybird did. It took him 10 hours to free himself of the Waffle House Challenge, which is 24-hour commitment, and you get to remove 1 hour for each waffle you eat. So by eating 14 waffles, he was able to leave after 10 hours. 5:30 p.m. he got out of here yesterday. And he consumed 5,600 calories.
Well, no, more than that, because the first 3 rounds was just drenched with syrup.
And then, of course, those Mountain Dews, those aren't calorie-free.
You know what? I think I'm out with Mountain Dew. The Mountain Dew, it was tasting revolting yesterday. It was so sweet with the syrup.
Well, think of all the guys that do it professionally. Joey Chestnuts and stuff. They do water. They don't do soda. Soda's got bubbles.
Oh, I know.
Bubbles take up space.
I know. I read.
You're saying he did it wrong?
Yeah.
I read all the things I did wrong. Not only with the challenge, but in my personal life as well. Very honest on social media, they are.
A lot of wrong, huh? Okay.
It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. Virginia, take it away. Because we need that Dirt of the Day.
Well, coming up in a second in your dirt, I'll tell you all about the gauntlet has been thrown. Mark Wahlberg and Dr. Oz battling it out, not just on social media with words, but now Dr. Oz wants to step it up and make it physical. I don't know, Dr. Oz. I feel like Mark could take you out in anything physical, but what do I know? I'll tell you what the new challenge is coming up in just a second.
Okay.
Before we get into that, did you see the pictures of Azriel Clary? Now, she was one of the girlfriends of R. Kelly, who was, of course, when he was out and he was free, sticking by his side, talking about how he had never abused her. Well, now Azriel is back with her family that she was estranged from for many years. And she put pictures up. They look happy. It's her mom and dad and her. She was 17 when she went to live with R. Kelly. 17.
Wow.
And now she's back home with them now that she's 22. But, the craziness that was her life these past few years. She put on their hashtag, moving on to better days. And I believe that would be the understatement of the year.
Mm-hmm.
In other news, it looks like young Jock is proudly driving for a new rideshare company and is telling all the people out there, hey, look, it's a fun way to make extra cash, and it's an honest buck, and it's a new app called Pull Up and Go. Now, so far, it's only available in Atlanta. And he, I guess, is trying to get it started and is driving for them currently and saying, look, it's all about being out there and earning an honest buck, not doing anything dishonest or shady to make money. And Pull Up and Go. Young Jock is the new spokesperson.
Young Jock, huh?
Good for you. Finally here, Dr. Oz is throwing down the gauntlet. Now, he and Marky Mark, I guess, have been going back and forth about whether or not you should do breakfast or skip breakfast. So Marky Mark believes in doing breakfast. Dr. Oz believes in skipping breakfast. And so they disagree on that. But now Dr. Oz is telling Marky Mark he wants to do an all-out fitness competition, a one-legged push-up contest. He's challenging Marky Mark to as many as he can do, and Oz says he can beat him.
Marky Mark will destroy Dr. Oz. Have you seen what Marky Mark looks like? I mean, he is in phenomenal shape.
But Dr. Oz is in great shape, too. He's just skinny.
I'm getting my money's on Marky Mark.
Yeah.
Dude, I think he's going to destroy him.
But I mean, I think Dr. Oz is sneakily in amazing shape.
Right. And he tricks you. He wears those scrubs.
Yeah.
So you don't really know. But I think the man is up in his fitness.
I think he is in amazing shape. But Marky Mark, some of his workouts, that cat wakes up at 3 a.m. to do stuff.
Oh, I know.
What's a one-legged push-up? So you just get on one leg and hold the other one in the air?
Yeah, I think so. The only thing I can think of, and everything has, like, some exercises have like 5 different names depending upon who you are, what you use, but sometimes you'll have one leg up in the air behind you, kind of like a scissor kick. Imagine if you had a scissor kick, one leg is kicked up high and the other foot is on the ground.
Okay.
That would be my guess.
Gosh,
I don't know for sure.
I pulled a hamstring just listening to that.
I don't know how many of those I could even do.
No, it's tough.
And that's what's going on in your Dirt of the Day. Brought to you by the Little Smiles Stars Ball. We are just a couple of weeks away. It is Saturday, February 1st at the Palm Beach County Convention Center. And now is your chance to get involved. We would love for you to join us. You can buy a ticket. You can buy a table for you and all of your friends. You can donate auction items. You can sponsor however you want to get involved. We would love to have you. It is a beautiful night that will just move you to tears. We've done it for 10 plus years, and it moves me to tears every single time. You will be so, so happy you bought a ticket. So we'll see you out there. Get your tickets now. Connect to Little Smiles at kvjshow.com.
It's time to gain some knowledge. You learn more here than you would in college. We're the smartest radio station. We are the leaders in education. Is it truth? Is it lies? Kevin's the host. He's got beady eyes. Fact or fiction?
Well, they announced the Oscars yesterday. Joker got 11 nominations. I know they got Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Director, 3 of the big ones right there they were nominated for. Jaybird just saw it, said it was fantastic.
I liked it a lot.
The Irishman, 1917, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood were next with 10. A couple snubs happened, though. J-Lo and Adam Sandler both got snubbed.
They say Sandler is great in that movie.
Uncut Gems, yeah.
I guess as a serious role. He's a good serious actor.
No, that's what they were saying. They're saying that this was it. And remember, Sandler was saying that if you don't give me the Oscar nomination, I'll keep making stupid movies. J-Lo apparently was denied a Best Supporting Actress nod for Hustlers, and even Robert De Niro wasn't nominated for The Irishman. But Joe Pesci and Al Pacino were.
I was showing Virginia and Denny's that scene in The Irishman where De Niro is fighting and kicking that one guy.
He's curb stomping that guy where he's got young face but old man's body.
Oh my gosh! Why did they just get a stunt double? Because it looks like an 80-year-old man.
It's weird. Young face and old movements.
Well, it doesn't even look like he's inflicting any pain.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like the other guy surely could get up and make this a fair fight.
Yes.
Right.
Surely,
Don't just take this.
The other guy's just taking it and overacting.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that guy's not nominated for anything. The guy's on the ground getting kicked. So we got some Oscar Factor fiction here for you today. What do you think about this, Virginia? The Oscars were named after a janitor that was beloved by many Hollywood greats back in the day, like Groucho Marx, and they made a movement to get the award named after him. What do you think, fact or fiction?
Oh, I want it to be fact. The janitor gets his day.
Yes.
Fact.
Gonna go with fact. No, that's too sweet of a story.
It's like Goodwill Hunting.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah, no one actually really knows exactly how the Academy Awards started calling their trophy the Oscar.
Okay.
So, there you go. Fact or fiction here, Jay Bird. Emmy Awards are both taller and heavier than Oscars.
That, my friend, is fiction without a doubt.
That is fiction. You are correct. They are 2 inches taller, but Oscars are about 3 pounds heavier.
Wow, 3 pounds.
Wow, I didn't even know they were that heavy at all. All right, what do you think about this? Virginia, fact or fiction? Because metal was scarce, the Oscars given out during World War II were actually made from wood.
That's low budget. Surely they didn't do it. I'm going to say fiction.
They're going to say fiction. No, that is a fact. Your wooden Oscar.
That's so broke
Walking
down.
out with splinters. Yeah, I'll let you know. Country was really hurting up. All right, what do you think about this? Fact or fiction? Eminem has won as many Oscars as Leonardo DiCaprio. Jaybird, you said it was a fact.
It is a fact.
You believe it, huh?
I bet my face on it.
Your face is safe. Yeah, they both have one Oscar. Eminem won in 2003 for Lose Yourself and the soundtrack, and then Leo won in 2016 for The Revenant. So there you go. Yeah, both have. That's crazy to say, though. They're both tied with one.
Did y'all see The Revenant with the bear?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, worth checking out?
It is.
Okay. What do you think about this, Virginia? You're going to love this. Star Wars, fact or fiction here.
I can't wait to get into it.
The first Star Wars movie got an Oscar nomination for Best Picture but didn't win. Is that fact or fiction?
Fiction.
You're going to say fiction on that. I'm going to say you are wrong. That is a fact.
Over 3.
I just did a goose egg today.
Jaybird, what do you think? Fact or fiction? Star Wars did not win any Oscars, and it was considered a snub back in 1978.
Fiction. I believe they won for music.
Okay, you're going to say fiction. You are correct.
Wow.
They
look at you.
actually won 6 Oscars that year, including Best Editing, Best Visual Effects, and Best Original Score.
Boom. Boom in your face, witch.
Showing off.
Yeah. And the weird thing is George Lucas didn't win any Oscars for Star Wars, but his ex-wife did. Marcia Lucas won the Oscar for Best Film Editing for Star Wars in 1978, and he didn't get anything at all for him, and they got divorced in 1983.
And then she won most of his money in that divorce.
Yes.
Half. And that's a win.
I think she got more. She got so much money off Lucas.
I'll take that over a stupid award any day.
Yeah, she was the true winner. All right, they just did the Academy Award nominations yesterday. Awards for fantastic acting. Now we're going to try our hand at this. The Netflix movie, The Irishman, got 10 nominations. Joe Pesci, Al Pacino nominated, but not Robert De Niro. So here we go. What we're going to do is you're going to award an Oscar here for a KVJ show member for their acting or even narration. Virginia's going to be the narrator here. Myself, Jaybird, and Dennys are all going to play different parts in the movie.
I think Dennys is narrating unless you want.
Oh, okay.
I can narrate whatever you think.
Oh, I didn't know. You guys, when we were going to air, I heard Virginia's name being thrown around for narrator. But if we change, I don't care.
I will be the narrator.
Okay.
Well, it's less words for him if he's the narrator.
I don't have to do an accent.
Me and Dennys have the least amount of lines in the movie.
They demoted themselves. That's sad.
Well, no, just, you were off yesterday from a certain point of view.
So you want more of me?
You do good accents.
Okay, so Dennys is doing the narration. I'm playing Robert De Niro's character in The Irishman, Frank. That we're doing here. Who does Virginia have?
She's got Pacino. This is big.
Oh, okay. He plays Jimmy Hoffa.
Yes.
I've got Pesci.
And you've got Pesci.
Buffalino.
Okay. All right. Let's see how well we do with our acting here on the KVJ show. Who deserves the Oscar?
All right. Exterior gas station, Ohio, day 1975. An attendant checks the oil. The women are buying cigarettes from a machine while Russell buys some candy from another. Frank's making a call in a phone booth. Intercut with Jimmy at his Lake Orion house outside Detroit.
I'm with the old man. We're driving up. He hopes this whole thing can just be worked out.
What did he say?
He said, let's work this whole thing out. sit down after the wedding and we'll work it out.
I'm not going to the wedding. Too many people I don't like are gonna be there.
But we could do it at your place if you want.
At the lake, huh?
Or anywhere.
From day one, I wanted to work this out.
I know.
From gosh darn day one.
I know.
Just like you two, right? Not the little guy.
Of course, the little guy.
No, just the three of us.
There's no point in just the three of us.
I'm not sitting down with that dingleberry.
It's time to sit down, Jimmy. Everybody says so.
Not with him.
You're making me work hard.
Just us.
Jimmy hangs up. Frank lets himself out of the booth. Russell comes over, unwrapping a candy bar.
Hey, what did he say?
He's thinking about it.
Yeah, it's good. That's progress. You want half of this Milky Way?
Go and scene.
You guys did awesome.
So did you, Dennys.
Oh, thanks.
Yes, you're the best narrator ever.
Oh, thank you.
I love acting, and I'm so terrible at it.
You are not.
No.
That was great.
I closed my eyes.
That was captivating. I thought I was watching The Irishman. And then I heard Virginia's ridiculous accent.
Well, forget about it.
I think what KVJ needs to do, I think we all should join a local play.
Let's do it. Oh, let's do it. I want it. I would love it. You guys won't do it.
It'd be so much work and so
I don't
much
have the time,
Gosh,
but-
it'd be so much time, but that'd be awesome.
It would be fun, especially if the characters were big and
Yes.
bold accents.
Who would be the best? Who would be the worst? Who would be better, me or Virginia?
I'm the worst/best because I'm so bad.
Honestly, I think whoever puts the most work in,
Okay.
who puts the grit in.
We're all equal when it comes to acting?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. From that scene, who deserves the Oscar? You can let us know. 877-979-9763.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news.
Yeah. Whoop.
So many people on meth.
Ow!
Just to let you know, it's not really a good idea to take sexual stimulants that were intended for bulls. Guy in Mexico found this out. He took one that was
Bull
used to
Viagra?
Yeah.
Holy dog almighty.
If it's gonna work on a bull, think about what it's gonna do to you.
You don't need that heat.
Oh my gosh, this guy wasn't right for 3 days.
What happens to you?
It was at attention and it wasn't going anywhere, Jay Bird.
Social experiment?
It's kind of like that uncle that comes for Christmas and then he's here till April.
They say you have to call or go to the emergency room if you take one, like even like the regular kind, not the bull stuff, if it doesn't go down in 6 hours.
Yeah. This guy was dealing with it and for quite some time. So, wow. Yeah, just kind of a lesson learned. He wound up having to go to the hospital, and doctors successfully performed surgery to help him out. And you know what they had to operate on? Oh, gosh.
He's probably so bummed out.
Don't take anything that's intended for a bull. Really, it's just...
He's probably so bummed when he had to explain what he did.
Yeah. Interesting new menu item in McDonald's in Japan. Now, have you ever heard where sometimes things just don't translate well from one language to another?
Sure.
Oftentimes when you translate one thing from, especially anything to English, it doesn't translate well. So if you are American in Japan and you want this item, basically what you're ordering if you go into this McDonald's is called an adult cream pie.
That's amazing.
Wow. Imagine if they just had adult cream pies on the menu at McDonald's here in America. Yeah.
I'm going to sit this one out. I'll just watch you guys eat it.
Adult cream pie.
Oh.
I don't know if you heard, the Supreme Court has refused to hear an appeal by 3 women fined by a city in New Hampshire for exposing their breasts in public. They're arguing that, hey, look, males can be topless. Why can't we? And the fact you won't violates the Constitution. The New Hampshire Supreme Court ruled that the ordinance did not discriminate against women, noting that it bans nudity of both men and women. They say there. So I don't know if that means that men can't be topless.
Believe me, I'll stay topped. You don't want to
topped, huh?
You don't want to see these things right now.
It's also another interesting court case that is going on. This one about virginity testing. Remember T.I., the rapper, his story about how he had commented on that video podcast about how he would do virginity tests on his daughter to check to make sure she still was. Well, now a state lawmaker in California is moving to ban these so-called virginity tests. Under the proposal, any doctor who performs or supervises these exams would face punishment with the medical board. Now, the procedure is where a doctor would go in and check to make sure that a woman's hymen is still intact.
You can't check.
That's weird.
There's things that can happen that can get rid of it, and some people don't even have one, so get out of here with that.
Oh, it's kind of like some people are born with one less foot bone, like me and my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say this whole thing actually was brought on by T.I. in his story. So it'd be the T.I. bill.
He can't go anywhere
which is
right
not
now.
the GI bill.
Everybody keeps talking to him about that. He can't go anywhere or do anything without people asking him about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's a bold statement.
It now actually may be the biggest thing he's ever done.
It's sticking. It's got longevity.
Oh, yes, it does. Yes, it does. Interesting little tactic that cops in Texas are doing. They're pulling fingerprints off slices of cheese that some vandals threw at a car to try to track them down.
Oh, yeah. Cheese bringing them down.
Were the cars moving when they threw the cheese? Because that's not cool. If the car is moving and you throw cheese, it's a weapon. You could cause them to wreck.
Yeah, if you throw it on the windshield.
If you put cheese all over somebody's parked car, I think that's funny, and I support that.
Well, you used to do that to my car. I'd go out and I'd
cheese it.
I'd open up my door. There'd be like peanut butter. It'd be jelly one day.
I had snakes in mine one time.
We put cheese all over the windshield. It's funny.
Oh, it's hilarious, Kevin.
I like to put stuff in your car and then set up a camera and wait.
No, you usually don't set up a camera. That's
she
the
just puts
problem.
the cheese on it and then just takes off. Yeah.
Because now you're just a jerk.
Yeah. There's no bid.
Yeah, if there's a camera.
That's what Virginia does. There's no bid. It's just,
If there's a camera, that's cool.
I've had a camera a few times. In my early days, I was camera-less. I was doing it for the love of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love it.
Well, this is a guy that is doing something interesting. Airbnb, getting some weird stuff going on here. A guy who stayed at an Airbnb in New York is saying that the host of the house threatened to report him for not showering at night. What?
I agree with the host of the house. If you're going to
Yeah.
stay in my house and you're stinky, we got to hose you down.
Well, I mean, Denny's knew this one guy where he would sit down on furniture, and when he would stand up, there would be a ring of just grease all on the couch or the chair.
That's repulsive.
It was every single time this guy would sit down, and there would be a smell that would come with it.
Sure.
At that point, you are kind of impeding on someone's peace.
I stand with the homeowner. Stinky people, stay somewhere else.
Well, then, yeah, don't put your house on Airbnb then. I think if you're that whacked out about, dirty people.
I'm not sold on that
Yeah. if you're-
Airbnb.
Well, Airbnbs are great if they're like you're renting the whole house. What weirds me out is the Airbnb people that rent out like the upstairs of their house.
And they're
or
still
like
there.
a room. And they're still living there.
Yeah.
But they're like, they have tenants upstairs for like a weekend. It's like weird.
You feel like there's holes in the wall, and they're looking.
Yes.
It's an interesting little thing that two engineers did. They were working on the 2020 Chevy C8 Corvette Stingray at a GM plant in Kentucky. So they decided to take the prototypes out last Wednesday night to street race them. Sounds like fun, doesn't it?
It does, but is that illegal?
Yes, it is. Well, it is when you are arrested for doing over 100 miles an hour in a 45.
Damn.
I think you can go to jail for that.
Makes for a good commercial for the new 2020 Chevy C8 Corvette, though.
But I feel like Chevy's got to bail you out because you were on the clock.
You probably, yeah.
Did Chevy tell you to do that?
Are going to be permanently off the clock after that story. They will punch you out forever. And talking about a punch out here, a yoga instructor in Iowa got mad a few months ago when somebody was using their phone in a movie theater during Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So after the movie, he punched the guy and just got arrested for assault. Wouldn't you think a yoga instructor would be kind of zen?
That's very not zen.
That's very not zen. He's going against
an intense yoga instructor. I'll pass on that.
I want to watch that class.
Come on, downward dog.
I want to watch
You're
that.
doing it wrong, damn it.
You stupid.
I came here for a little piece.
I like that.
A piece of
The angry yoga instructor.
whoops your ass.
Coming up here in a couple minutes, boy, a couple crazy stories of stalking. Both of them here in the state of Florida. One in Lake County. One is one from one of our listeners that sent us an email about a stalking story. I'll share with you coming up next.
This is 97.9 WRMF Palm Beach.
Having a stalker can be really scary and creepy. You can ask Jaybird, you can ask countless celebrities that have had stalkers. It's usually deranged people that have an unhealthy obsession with somebody. And there's a couple stories here from the state of Florida. One from Lake County where a guy broke into a home and there was this woman he was stalking. And she's actually married, and her husband is there and has a gun. And the stalker breaks in. He's there to get to this woman.
Gosh.
The husband's there, pulls out a gun, points it at the stalker as they're calling police saying, don't move. Actually fired a warning shot during the whole thing because the guy started moving. In fact, he started taking off all of his clothes.
What the hell?
Yes.
Oh, wrestling with somebody naked is so tough.
That's crazy. I wouldn't want to do it. Yeah, I think I'd have to shoot somebody in the kneecap. I'm not doing a naked...
You don't want to wrestle somebody.
No.
Some dude
A
in there.
deranged stalker who's broken into my home, who's trying to get to my wife, and then he wants to wrestle and he's naked? Nah.
I say you tag Kim in and let her take him. I feel like Kim would put him in a wrestling move in 3 seconds and the guy would be choked out.
I think it would actually probably be easier on him to be shot. That'd probably be the better move for him. Yeah, trust me, I did that for your own good. The wrestling match, you wouldn't survive. This, you'll be fine. Yeah, and here's the whole thing, too, that's kind of scary about it. It all started from social media.
What?
Yes, he began stalking her on social media a couple years ago.
Is she one of those sexy influencers?
I don't know. It doesn't really give details about like what the nature of her posts were. But she blocked him. It does say that. Then he was able to find out where she lived, and then that's when he came and broke into the couple's home.
Well, think about if you were a stalker, say 1985, compared to now. You've had these stalking tendencies, and you were a stalker back in the 80s, but now you've got computers and technology. You know how easy it is to stalk somebody?
You're right.
And
horrifying.
It's horrifying. It's so easy.
Well, and the thing that's really horrifying is that they are usually mentally deranged and they have a sick obsession on it. And they clearly are unhinged. I mean, this guy who breaks into this Lake County home, the husband's got a gun on him. He starts stripping naked. The cops show up. He's still naked. And then they had to taser him.
Oh, my.
So you know this dude is completely unhinged.
And now all this is happening in your home.
Right. Yeah. At that point, we were talking about, do you move?
Kinda.
Or do you figure this guy's going to find you again? I mean, what do you do at this point?
Oh, if someone's deranged like that and they're obsessed with you, they're going to find a way to get to you.
Yeah, I mean,
they're going to find you.
But maybe you take all the security precautions that you hadn't taken before, like moving to a place that has round-the-clock man security.
Definitely. And what I mean is, if someone wants to know the area that you live, they can find stuff out. If they're obsessed with it.
But once you go through it, like, I can't imagine what it must have been like for them to go through it in their living room. When you walk back in that living room, you're going to have PTSD.
Yeah.
I got to get out of there. I don't know if I can come back.
You just never know. You'd be like, I want to know where this guy is. And as you're walking through your house, you ever had that where you look out the window and you're like, I wonder if anybody's looking at me? You know, when it's dark outside. Yeah.
Every night.
Yeah, is he out there? That's what you would be thinking. Every time you open the front door at night, you're like, could he pop out of the bushes?
Every time I take out the trash, I feel like there's a chance I could get murdered. Do you ever have those thoughts? Well, you don't live.
I don't take out the trash.
That's right. It's Panda's job.
Panda's
And
job.
from what I hear, neither does Panda.
No, he's already had a rough month.
I'm just kidding. Panda, I'm totally just kidding.
Yes.
That's such a joke.
So then we got this email from Audrey, and it says, I feel like what happened to me today warrants an email to you guys to see how I should feel/approach this. I work at a local art museum, and today I picked up my mail from the mailroom and opened a letter addressed to me, but I did not know the sender. Enclosed was something I never could have imagined. To give you context, a picture of me from one of my work events was put in the Shiny Sheet, Palm Beach Post's other local publishings.
Oh, yeah.
The letter begins with, Audrey, how are you doing? I know you're probably wondering who I am, so I'll get straight to the point. I was reading a magazine about the Kravis Center, and I seen some pictures of you.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my gosh.
Already, I'm checked out.
And the only thing I could say was, damn, this woman is gorgeous and beautiful. I want to get to know her. He then goes on to give a little backstory about his self and that he's from West Palm but born in New York. and then drops the bomb that he's, in all caps, in federal prison for selling drugs, guns, and bulletproof vests. The letter is so long that I can summarize it by saying he's getting out of prison in June 2020 and thinks he has a business plan to make $108 million a year and wants to take care of me. And he wants to prove to me that he can give true love and that he wants to build something special between the two of us. This man found my work address and mailed me this letter after looking at one picture of me. I'm worried that whenever he gets out, he will come to my job or something. How would you react to this? Virginia, how would you react if Magnolia got this letter? And to let you know, the letter, it is extensively long. It is on legal paper, which you know is longer than your average sheet of paper, and it is handwritten 2 full pages long.
Why is she concerned about this?
If I was her, and hopefully she has a legit boyfriend or fiance or husband or something along those nature, write him back now and let him know you're flattered by his offers and his proposals for taking care of you, but you have a man and you're good. You wish him nothing but the best. And you send that mail to him immediately.
I don't know if you even want to send mail.
I would.
I don't know.
You would. So that would be your approach. You would
That would
send
be
him a
my
return
approach.
letter.
I would send a return
Okay.
letter. I would make it short and sweet and thanking him and make it respectful.
Oh, he's going to smell the paper. He's going to love getting mail from you. I don't know, man. You're getting involved. He might see that as, oh, she's reaching back out to me. She does care.
She took time.
She took time to write me back. I don't know, V. You need to watch some more of these horror movies that I watch.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
I'm trying to make sure he doesn't come visit her.
I mean, now you are, because in his mind, you go, well, she took the time to write me. She does really care about me. Oh, yeah.
Okay, you're Audrey. How do you handle this situation before it gets out of hand? Because this guy's out in June of 2020. That's not that long.
That is not long at
That's
all.
not that long.
We got to figure this out.
Yes,
We got to
okay.
figure this out now.
How do we help out Audrey? What do we do? 877-979-WRMF. Okay, Audrey sent us an email. She got a letter that had 2 full legal-sized pages written out in handwriting from a guy who is in prison. He's there for selling drugs, guns, and bulletproof vests. Will get out of the federal prison in June of 2020, and he wants to take care of Audrey. He believes he has a business plan to make $108 million a year. That's a lot of money.
Side note, let's hear about this plan. You guys want in?
I
It's a lot of
actually
cash.
I could pull up the extensive letter, and maybe it's included in there. I started reading, I'm like, good heavens. But I guess this guy's got nothing but time, right?
Yes, I would expect nothing less than a long letter from an inmate.
Do you remember we used to get those letters from the one prisoner? They used to send them to Aunt Ann.
They used to be like 7 pages long.
He would write so long, and then it turned sexual. He was asking about her underwear. After a while, I heard about that for a couple Christmases after.
Virginia got a couple comments here because she was suggesting writing this guy back and saying, I'm not interested, or I got a boyfriend, or whatever it might be.
I think it's a terrible idea.
Some of the comments, Virginia's so stupid. Just by her saying that she's flattered is what he's hearing. I love you, and sending a letter back is hurting your chances here. I would not do that. And somebody else texted and said, Virginia, I usually agree with you, but you're crazy on this one. Do not contact this man. Do not reply. Contact the local authorities and let them know about the letter that you received, and prison warden or whomever is in charge of him at this point. He needs to get the message from a legal authority not to ever contact you again. So that is...
He's going to get that out of a loaf. He's going to sniff it. He's going to lay with it. He's going to lick it. Oh, man, do not contact the prisoner.
Maybe I am dumb.
Who's obsessed with you?
Yep.
I'm trying to diffuse it, but you're right. Like, yeah, you don't want to encourage him.
So, so that's several suggestions is contact the authorities, let them know about the letter, let them see it. Somebody else, their idea for Audrey is for her to quit her job and move away.
No, I like Virginia's. Write them back. Leave a return address on there.
I mean, did she send you the picture from the shiny sheet?
Not that picture. She sent a picture of her holding the letter so that we could read it.
Is she hot?
I don't know. You only get to see her legs, Virginia. So don't send that photo to him either.
Do not send that. He will love that
Oh,
photo.
yes.
KVJ Show is all over social media. Find us Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Sure, Virginia, very excited last night. Her home state, Louisiana State University Tigers beat the Clemson Tigers in the College Football National Championship.
As they say in the Bayou, laissez la bon temps rouler. Let the good times roll. LSU sits on the throne of college football as they knock out the defending champs.
Yeah, it was 42-25 last night, the final score. LSU wins another national championship. I think it's like their fourth now that they got. Joe Burrow, who's the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, threw 5 touchdowns, ran for another one. So big night for Virginia.
Congratulations, Virginia.
Mm-hmm. Where'd she go?
Virginia?
She's out again today?
Did she take
It's hard to get attendance around this show.
It really is.
I don't know what I don't know what's going to take.
Where did she go?
I have no idea. I don't know. That's all right. We'll get her on the next segment. But, being a big-time football fan like I am, my team got punted out of the playoffs to Clemson not too long ago. It was a devastating loss. But if that game is going on, that does mean a lot. I invest a lot of my free time. Just, that's my thing, watching my football team. And maybe you've got a college team. Maybe it's an NFL team. Maybe you've got a different sport that you like. But when they are on an important game and it's on live, it is all you can think about because your whole year really revolves around it. Now, the thing that is tough for me is whenever there's a social event. In fact, my wife couldn't even believe it. Last night, my son had a basketball game that ate into the first 30 minutes of the national championship. She's like, who would schedule a kid's basketball game during the national championship? I'm like, I don't think a lot of people are as plugged into it as you. I mean, the rest of the world, if that's not your thing, you don't think of it like that.
I didn't even know it was on last night.
It's the Super Bowl of college football. You have to respect it.
It is, but, that's the thing is these kind of events happen. Like, you may be like going, are you serious? You scheduled something during the Bachelor finale? Everybody's probably got their own thing that they could argue. Now, it's so easy in today's technology-driven world to have the ability to watch whatever event is going on your phone. And now there is a viral Reddit thread of this guy who was at a wedding over the weekend, and he was watching the 49ers-Vikings game, a big game. He's likely a diehard of one of these two teams. And somebody snapped a photo / small video of him watching the game on his phone. He's sitting at the table while the groom and mother dance is going on. And his wife is not very happy with him. And now users are slamming this guy, saying his behavior is, quote, disgusting and sad. And this guy is pathetic. And all these terrible things.
He should lose his job and never be able to work again.
Right. He needs to be in prison. Yeah, they're basically saying just how terrible this whole thing is. So that is my question. How big of a deal is this? Is he as awful as everybody is making him out to be? Sad, disgusting, terrible, worst person ever.
Worst person ever? Oh, they're a little bit dramatic on Reddit.
Well, that's just how they go.
Worst person ever.
What would you do, Virginia, if you were at a wedding and the Bills were in the playoffs? What would happen in your relationship? This is a big game. Your husband, Panda, is a big Buffalo Bills fan. They just were recently in the playoffs.
Yes.
You have a wedding going on. He's sitting there at the table, and he's watching the Bills game on his phone. Wow. And I don't even know. Is this a big moment in the wedding when they have the groom and his mother dancing?
I mean, first of all, how well do you know the person getting married? If you're a person, everyone gets invited to a wedding where you really don't know the bride and groom that well.
Right.
If you're one of those people, of course you're watching the game. You don't give a frog's fat ass about the dance.
Yeah. So and I'm asking this because I could be that guy. If Ohio State were playing in, first of all, honestly, I got to tell you, I wouldn't be there. And my wife and I, we kind of have an agreement. She gets me. And I can't even imagine. Anybody that's close enough to me that I would have to be there knows that they would not expect my attendance if an Ohio State football game's going on. You know what? Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, no,
That's
I'm on
just
your
me,
side.
and that's the way I am. Like, I just would not be there in the first place. I would say, look, I'm really sorry, unless and like I said, there's no one in my life that I'm that close to that would
know,
expect my attendance.
If you've got the game on full volume and everyone at the table
Sure.
can hear, I mean, if you're
not,
if you're
it's not
hiding
on,
it and if you're trying to,
it was he had a water glass and he was leaning the phone up against the water glass and he was watching there. And if you were looking over, you'd be going, "Oh, that dude's totally watching a football game."
Worst person ever.
Oh my gosh, he's sad and pathetic. It's just terrible. I mean, it's so disrespectful. Can you believe that?
I would let him go watch it in another venue, in another room, in another area. I think it is kind of rude.
Sure.
To have it on at the table on your phone at the wedding. But I would be fine with him leaving to go watch the game. I'm sorry.
It totally is rude. I get it. But
I do too.
But
and
like Reddit, worst person ever.
But
No.
I think Virginia's right. I think you say, hey, why don't you go somewhere else? And then when it's halftime or whatever, you can come in here, have a little bit of your meal or whatever, and join us and go back out there.
Or stay wherever you are
Right.
watching it. Like, if it's that big of a game, you shouldn't watch it in the wedding, but you should be allowed to watch it anywhere else you want to.
Well, for me, it's really annoying, and I get this, but I hear so often people who are not sports fans who want to make sports fans look like the worst people ever, and they're so rude and this and that. Be like, you know what? Unless you love sports the way some people do, you don't get it. I know it's a game. It's stupid. It's like, you know what? Don't tell me how to live my freaking life.
It's subjective. It's
Yes.
important to them, and if you
Right.
care about that person, you have to care about what's important to them.
Yes, and there are a lot of people that just may not like other people, and they're just like, I'd rather watch a football game. This means a lot to me. Somebody texted in and said, if it were my husband, I would have been horrified. I would have snatched that phone right out of his hands.
And that's why a lot of people aren't married, because it doesn't sound like that much fun.
Let him go watch it somewhere else, and just tell him kindly. You don't have to snatch, but you can tell him kindly, you got to put your phone away. You cannot be in here at the wedding watching football.
I mean, it's rude, but the worst person ever. Let's tone it down a bit, Reddit.
Yeah, I want to frame this in a sensible way because I don't feel like Reddit is being very sensible here.
But yeah,
with this guy,
he's being rude.
Yeah, I feel like that is the option. And if I were getting married, and so I don't even care if it's the Bachelor finale. If something like that were going on and you had it, you know what? God, I don't want to try to force your attention on me, and you're miserable, and your mind wants to be somewhere else. There's definitely a divide between sports fans and non-sports fans. Non-sports fans a lot of times don't get sports fans and vice versa. And there was a guy who was watching the 49ers-Vikings game from Saturday on his phone at the table during a wedding reception as the groom and his mother were sharing their dance. And he's getting blasted on Reddit. Somebody shared that photo, like little video, and his... whoever his woman is with him, she looks disgusted, wife or whatnot. And, people are blasting him saying this is disgusting and sad that he would do that. And somebody texted in and said, you know what? Just don't come to my wedding or go outside. I'm not spending $300 for you to be at my wedding for you to not give a bleep about it. If you don't want to be there, then don't. But putting your phone on the table is a blatant disregard for the couple.
I mean, I would hate somebody to come over or be a part of anything I got going on, and I knew that they were so bummed out they were there.
Well, that's half your wedding, people.
That's at least
That's half your guests.
half your wedding.
All of the ones that have a penis don't want to be there, and half the ones that don't want to be there.
The reception's okay. That's pretty cool, but it depends on is this an open bar or not.
Yeah.
Some receptions are super lame.
They are. I've been to quite a few.
If you don't have like a turn-up crowd and a bunch of drinkers, it's boring.
It is very. You are so
Sorry.
right. Then all people are doing is just celebrating the love, Kevin.
We alcoholics make it more fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, some people are sounding off on just how rude this is or how they've dealt with this because, South Florida and Florida, this is football territory. There's a lot of football played here. There are a lot of passionate fans of college and NFL.
It's definitely rude.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said you should put the phone in your lap. Don't put it on the table as a distraction. Okay, maybe there's a better way to play it. I like.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's a better way to hide your disinterest.
Well, and the last text I read said, you know what, don't come to my wedding if you're going to be not in there in the reception. And that does kind of pose the issue. You get an invite, and maybe it's your wife's good friend.
Yeah, you don't want to be there.
And you don't want to be there. And it's like, look, this is my team. I follow them like crazy. This is a big game for me. People who are non-sports fans, they don't get that. They're just like, that's stupid. Like, how rude are you that you're putting a game before people?
You're not on the team. It's insignificant in your life.
The other thing, too, is some weddings have crappy food, too.
You're right.
And it's expensive.
Yeah.
And it's not even good food.
Well, what happens with catering food is a lot of it is made ahead of time. They dry it the hell out. By the time you get it, it's just...
Some of it's buffet style, all dried.
Put a sauce on it.
Put a sauce.
Some of the other texts that we have here. Somebody said, my brother and all his friends are in their 30s, and when they were in college, they made a pact that they would not get married during football season, and they all kept their promise. And that's what it is. That's why, to me, most of my friends are big sports fans, because you got to hang with a light crowd that gets it.
Sure.
They understand, and they make apologies and forgivenesses, and they're like, yeah. And also, they don't have weddings during fall. That a lot of times is like a cardinal rule. Somebody said it would only be awful if you're watching the game while getting married. And you're the groom.
I disagree. I think it's rude to have your phone out watching anything.
I mean, it's rude if you get caught. It's really what it comes down to.
What would you say then would be the solution? Because the one text said, it's rude if you leave. I've paid $300 for you to have a plate, and you're in the lobby or somewhere else eating, and you're saying it's rude to have your phone out. So what should this person do? Just not go and be like, sorry, wifey?
They should go back and forth from the hotel bar to the reception.
Okay, and even though the bride is all upset when she sees you continually leaving, and she's like, that was so rude, I paid all this money, you just say, you know what?
It'd be so cool if everyone could just lighten up and not care.
Yeah, tell the bride to pull the stick out her butt.
So what if you get someone, I get that it's rude, but honestly, do you really give a care? So what? They don't want to see a dance.
And a lot of these games, they didn't know the game was going to be played on that day when they RSVP'd for your wedding. Games change date and time all the time. So you can't have a sports fan and expect them to know ahead of time when the game's going to be. That's not how it works.
Get prepared for the honeymoon, the task at hand. Let's get weird tonight, baby.
Thank you. Focus on your wedding and stop having all these expectations on people, and you'll not be disappointed.
Bring a little chocolate syrup in the room on our honeymoon. Or not. I don't know.
So it looks like poop when the cleaning staff comes.
Yeah, they're gross.
This guy pooped the bed.
I'm just saying, there's so many things you should be.
They must have burritos on that wedding buffet.
So bad diarrhea.
Burritos is a great wedding. That would be a great wedding food. Burrito.
Burritos?
I would love that.
No, it's too messy.
Somebody texted and said, this happened at my wedding. The bridesmaids' dates table were all watching the Astros playoff game. I thought it was hilarious when we got our photos back. I just wanted people to have a good time at our wedding, and if that made them happy, then who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Amen.
It's nice. That really, to me, I think that is the right tone.
And then if that's the tone of the bride and groom, great. Awesome. You guys are evolved and you get it.
Yep.
But that's not going to be the tone of most of your brides.
It's my wedding day. Look at me.
How dare you look at anything else but me?
That's the tone that some people have.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of the Astros, when they come to town to do their spring training, they're not going to be bringing their manager or their team president. They both got canned for cheating.
Yeah, I know.
When I heard this story, I thought about you. What do you think about this?
They're trying to bust other teams who've been doing this kind of stuff, where they're using video and all kind of technology to cheat.
What exactly did they do?
They were illegally filming stuff where they were using technology to steal signs of other teams.
And then they were sending signals to the players out in the field by beating on trash cans, so that the players out there would know, hey, they've got this sign on.
Like Morse code?
So
Mm-hmm.
when you play, usually from high school on, they teach you on the bench or just to always watch the other team and try to learn the signs of the other team, because you've got some dopey coaches out there that will without a doubt give you freebies, and you'll know if someone's bunting or not, and they'd give an assignment. Somebody would be assigned to trying to decipher the signs of other teams, but that was just from the bench.
And you're only allowed to do it in the moment right there.
Yeah, they were, they were going to the next level.
They were videoing it.
Like the Army. They were doing military stuff.
Yeah, so the Astros were fined $5 million by the league, and they have to forfeit their next 2 first and second round draft picks. So for that, the team owner, Jim Crane, who's the one that transformed that hotel down there that is on Palm Beach Lakes and Congress, That hotel on the corner that is now there, that's across from the Jehovah's Witness place.
Yeah.
That's now that white building.
Yeah.
Yeah, the owner of the Astros bought that and refurbished that so that his team could stay there when they have spring training.
Fancy.
So the manager and general manager have both been fired by that team owner.
You could also steal signs from the catcher, and if you're on second base and the catcher's giving like, oh, he's throwing a curveball, you would then get on second base, and the batter would see you, and you'd crouch down like that with your hands on your knees. You knew a curveball was coming. If it was a fastball, you'd stand up like that. And that's how you'd steal the signs.
The non-sports people who were listening a second ago are now really mad.
Did I go too far? I went too far. I feel like Virginia.
And then...
No, please, do more charades on the radio.
Coming up, 20 more minutes of Jaybird on baseball sign stealing.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know how you hear people on the radio and you're like, I wonder what they look like when they're saying that. I wish I could see them. Well, you can. We're right there on youtube.com/KVJ show.
Virginia, you say you keep having a problem with your rideshare service, and you think they're pulling a little bit of a scam on you.
I have figured it out.
What is the deal?
Remember the trouble that we were having with Uber and Lyft, where you'd be waiting for them to come get you. They accept your ride. It says, John in a Hyundai is coming to get you.
In 9 minutes.
Sounds scary.
And 5 minutes go by, and you're looking, and John in his Hyundai has not moved from that one spot where he's been.
Yeah.
This has happened to me like 5 times. It happened to me after the Saints game in New Orleans, standing outside the Superdome, half drunk and crying. Not a pretty picture.
Why do you often wind up these places drunk and crying?
You do mix your beers and tears together.
Yeah.
I do. I'm a very
Beers and
emotional
tears.
drinker.
Yes, she is.
That's not the kind of vibe I'm looking for.
Right.
I'm not here for your judgment. I'm trying to tell you a
All
story.
right, sorry, my bad. Go ahead, Weepy.
So, what happens, I figured this out. These Uber drivers, they drive for Uber and they drive for Lyft. Both of them do it. And what they do is they have 2 separate phones. One is for Lyft and one is for Uber. They will leave a phone at a location and they will accept the Lyft ride and leave it there while they finish their other ride with an Uber. So the car's not there. Just the phone is. And that's why they take 15 minutes to get to you, or sometimes longer than that. And if you cancel, they charge you, in my case, $10 as a cancel fee because you notice the car's not moving. That $10 goes to the driver and they're winning. But now,
oh, no way.
you can call them out on it if this happens to you, because now I'm telling you the secret. These Uber drivers and Lyft drivers, they have 2 phones and they leave one of them in a location just sitting there while they're still finishing their call with the other one. So they're accepting the other rides and they're on a ride still.
How did you discover this scam?
I mean, she's a Nancy Drew.
It happened to me a bunch of times, and then I saw a story on the news about it. They busted them.
Wow.
Doing just that.
The news loves doing this kind of story, or they can catch somebody in the act doing something wrong.
Well, thank
Scammers.
God they figured it out, because I was really beating myself up about it, and I couldn't figure out why somebody would accept a ride and then not move for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, it was just bizarre to me. And I would get into arguments with them, because you can call the Lyft or Uber driver and you can talk to them, make contact with them. I would call them and get into a cursing match with them. I'm watching you. You're not moving.
You're running a little hot. You need to get some food in you, mama.
So if you do get charged that $10, you can dispute it and you can get it back. I just did it yesterday.
Yeah.
And you can call them out on what they did to you.
So send in the screenshot to Uber and you can get a refund.
It's very easy on both of the apps to get a conversation going with customer service. Threaten to delete the app and they work really quick.
Don't mess with Virginia.
No, you don't. Oh, we all know that by now.
Well, she's the Aaron Brockovich of the Tequesta area, right?
I never got the pool. I kind of lost that
So
one.
the pool definitely no?
The pool is definitely
lost.
not happening. Yeah, there's not a ice cube's chance in hell.
Wow.
Dang.
Too many old people where I live. The old people have the power. I got to wait for them to die.
That is why she loves Tequesta, because she's considered young there.
Yes. In just about 3 years, she's old and takes over. All right, coming up here in a couple of minutes, Jaybird frames everything with his thought for the day. All right, the After the Show podcast is going to be coming up here. Jaybird is in a more positive space today. He has completed his sentence with the Waffle House challenge. It took him
feel good today.
Yeah, you look like you're great. You look a lot better today than you did 24 hours ago.
Have you gone number 2? Because once you eat all them waffles, something got to give.
Yeah, we don't get into the details of everything, but honestly, I was so full of waffles that when I left here, I got sick.
Yeah,
so
14 waffles.
I think 14 came off.
Which end?
The front.
Okay.
5:30
If you
p.m.
want the
he
gross
got out.
details.
Yes.
I do.
Got out at 5:30 p.m. 10 hours it took him. Full consumption, 5,600 calories if they would have stayed down. All right, Jay Bird, if you would, send us to the After the Show podcast with a thought for the day.
Just something to think about. Don't be so hard on yourself. Remember, the mom in E.T. had an alien living in her house for days and didn't even notice. Don't be so hard on yourself. Do you?
Do you? Okay. All right.
Looking for some KVJ merchandise and swag? Go to kvjshow.com and click KVJ Gear.